Something that I did kind of look at was Polaris only playing Radiant, I think, twice during the course of the groups. 13% pick rate, 100% win rate. So one most likely both of the games that they played on it. So preferring more to play on Dire, though the percentages aren't that massive comparing these two teams, which kind of proves into potentially a tight game, but obviously the draft is much more important than just on which side you actually play on. Though, when you're looking at a lineup that Army Geniuses has, like if we're looking at a core Furion by the looks of it, core Storm Spirit, you've got this, you have like a +2 on any gank. It's not the +1 Furion. Storm can come from huge distances, and you have two heroes on top of you, meaning you could actually gamble on a very heavy early game and maybe even get a power spike faster than the TA from Polaris.
Yeah, for sure. And also, you didn't put into account the Treant Protector, which is somewhat of a global hero in terms of saving you.
That
so
too.
that's gonna help as well. Also, one thing, Army Geniuses in the group stages when they played against Polaris, one of their games they did play DNP. So I actually thought it was something that was gonna be removed because this hero has been proving to be a big problem across all regions. It is very, very powerful, fast farm. You get those towers down quickly, and the TA. If she would lane against the Nature's Prophet, sure, the side blades and all, it would be quite nice. But he's the guy that takes down your towers, that takes away your map control. If your mid lane tower falls early on Polaris, it's gonna be tough to secure the Roche. Luckily for them, they're the Dire side, so they're gonna have the outpost. But you're gonna have to put a lot of emphasis to take the enemy tower down on the safe lane of Army Geniuses, just to open up the map a bit for this TA. This is not gonna be an easy game for Polaris for sure. This Pango is gonna have to do a lot of work.
For sure, though the Coddle does help out with the Pango to get more active earlier on. You can get some heavy shield crash damage onto several targets, especially with the cooldown reductions kicking in. TA doesn't really care about that for quite some time. So I guess if Polaris, if it's all on the shoulders of the Pango, I'd like to see another hero who's active early on and kind of hit that mid-game power-up lineup here with this team. But I mean, I guess you could gamble for late game, but you're just going to have to play a lot of mirror movement. You have to dodge Army Geniuses all around the map for such a long time. And when does your how long do your nerves last, basically? How long can you keep that up?
I don't think that you have to fight for the towers. Ooh.
So a bit of a mixture, I guess, in that sense, with the Naga pick from Polaris.
So they want to put the TA in the mid lane now. When it comes to dealing with delusions, Sand King would of course be the best one out of all these heroes. Lash not really a great hero to pick right now. Maybe you can put Lash mid against the TA actually here on Army Geniuses and actually play the Storm Spirit in the off lane. It is a possibility. It is something that we've seen in the past. There was a slight nerf to the Storm Spirit's armor level 1, but other than that, he should still be relatively okay. So I'm not sure Army Geniuses where do they want to take this one, but I like the Naga Siren pick. I think with just the Manta that she can fight, though the Diffusal is quite strong right now, but I'm just not so sure if you want to be going that route.
Well, they're gonna have to wait to the final seconds to pick this one up, at least. I kind of like that this Naga is also a bit of a preemptive pick as well, because it would have been decent for Army Geniuses, and it would counter the Pango. But if you have it on your team, you're going to have to look at some sort of illusion clear. Tiny is decent at the job, but we know what the Tiny is these days. It's more about the spell basically the spell burst, and just trying to nuke other targets as fast as possible. You don't really have that right-click cleave damage right away at the start.
Yeah, definitely not at the start, though. You see, interesting, Army Geniuses decided to put the Nature's Prophet in the offlane. Naga Siren kind of doesn't care about the Nature's Prophet. He's Nature's Prophet. The strength of the hero in the offlane is that he harasses you, super annoying. But the thing is, Naga Siren has a lot of armor, and it's also gonna be, it seems like a position for Treant Protector unless they swap it up. So that's that means that this Naga Siren will actually have a pretty decent time in the laning phase. I'm kind of scared for Army Geniuses. I think they had a good chance to make it their draft win, but right now they kind of went more into the late game scenario. Thus, you're being pulled into this into this game that Polaris wanted to play. You know, I expected faster paced game from for Army Geniuses, and they go for a tiny, which naturally we have seen a double shard build, Moon Shard into an Ag Shard just to farm creeps. I don't think that's gonna be anything different, but I would like him to be somewhat involved in the early kills. This is I'm just not impressed with the last pick of Army Genius. I know they are really good at playing core tiny in Southeast Asia overall, but I don't see this as a particularly awesome core tiny game. Though again, Polaris is greedy, so you can exploit that. The only thing I'm looking at which items is Natsumi gonna go for. I would love a Manta into, depending on what the game is like, maybe go for an Orchid, maybe go for an Ags, maybe go for a Scotty immediately if you see that the game is going well. But I want to see if you actually go for the Diffusal. It has been buffed up, but in the previous meta, if you go for a Diffusal on the Naga Siren, I think I've never seen it win. So I'm just curious about that.
Well, curiosity sometimes may kill the cat, but hopefully all cats all around the world are going to be fine after this one as we head over to the first game of our Phase 3 here at the Pro Series. As Polaris Phase 2 team versus Army Genius is coming in from the first phase match off against each other's. Looking to take this first round for themselves in the first game potentially, because that's already going to put you one step closer towards the semi-final spot, and through that towards the finals in itself. Having to play the victor of Enigma Galaxy and Execration, which is going to be played out later on today as well. So pretty exciting SEA action kicking off, and we do have some DPC kicking off later on today, at least. So there's plenty of Dota around for people to watch. All of those people suffering from post-major blues. It's not as bad as post-TI blues, which is definitely a whole different thing. Huddle already getting caught here. Zadius. We're trotting back and forth a bit, but wasn't expecting that many Army Geniuses here to run into him. So that will be first blood for the Radiant squad.
You know, we are greedy, so let's make sure that the enemies have an even better start. Obviously, you would want that on the Storm because you want him to be the one getting kills, but even on the Tiny, it's not going to be that bad. Considering that you're playing a Grimstroke and a Tiny lane, this is actually a dangerous start. But what I'm baffled is that Polaris stayed there without vision for such a long time. Usually, when you go for a ward placement smoke early on and you get revealed, you kind of want to change your position or at least be in a defensive one, because the enemies are kind of going to be flocking around that area and bringing more heroes. So it was a weird move coming out from Xavius to get that close.
Mid starting off in a pretty nice fashion though. What do you like about this off lane though? Nature's Prophet versus the Naga. You've got Trina to kind of back you up. Got your extra healing kicking in later on. You can give a bit of poke and prod here and there. I kind of feel like I want to say that Womi has the better matchup in this, but Naga's got a lot of armor to withstand the right-click damage off of the Ethereum.
Ever since the change to 731, the carries wanted to stay in the lane a bit longer. So that's kind of what you're gunning for. Naga Siren naturally would be okay going into the jungle, but you want to stay in the lane for a very long time. Obviously, the Nature's Prophet should be good in terms of CS, but in terms of pushing the Naga Siren out of the lane, that's not going to be possible. When you get more levels in Mirror Image, it's going to be easier even for the Naga Siren to last it. So overall, I think Polaris are going to be quite happy with that, and they expected the Nature's Prophet to be in the offlane, given that they picked this Naga Siren. I think that was the idea. The two of Army Geniuses won't be able to bully Natsumi at all.
So in general, they're just happy with how the lanes are. Like, they don't really have to do too much shenanigans on their side lanes either. Supports are able to help out, can still rotate to mid if required.
Yeah, for sure. You know, and the Keeper of the Light, he started off with the boots in the bottom lane, so he's gonna be able to stack quite a lot, which is important. You're having a TA and the Naga Siren, so the greed is definitely there. So it's probably gonna be Army Geniuses trying to contest those stacks, or while the stacks are being farmed to get the towers. I'm thinking the early game is most likely gonna be transpiring that way.
Yep. Well, at least for the time being, with their safe lane Tiny, things are looking all right. They have blocked the hard cap as well, so Xavius isn't able to get the hard cap into his arms, but at least they're gonna be fighting over this easy cap for quite a bit, and that does help the Caudle also push himself a bit bigger. They do constantly push out the lane, get themselves a bit of an XP advantage, I guess you could also put it that way, but where does the real kill potential lie? Is it catching the Grimstroke off guard, or... Because Tiny is a very hard kill. He's still a very bulky strength hero.
I'd say impossible. Not only with these two heroes, but killing a Tiny... It really needs DB to get really deep into the lane, and constant pokes, and then you make one mistake and you die. That is how you kill a Tiny. So you can see that they're not even trying to pressure him. Just Nevermind is doing his best to get as many last hits as he can. Of course, not gonna be matching the Tiny.
Yeah, and also trying to match up with that right-click damage is going to be pretty difficult, since Tango doesn't quite have as much. He is building into the Over Corrosion at least, very important to have, and the Urn. What does that leave us for the Caudle to build? Can I see some bigger item here from Mr. Gandalf?
Well, we can see for now that he wants the Tranquil, so in my mind, the Keeper of the Light just needs to run around the map. But maybe he's gonna go for the Wraith Pact. That does make sense. It's a fast farming hero, and you know the burst from Army Genius is very important. They want to start off the fight by killing one hero with the Storm zipping in or the Tiny going in. Avatos combo plus the Inkswell. One hero dies, and suddenly you're in a good position. But if that doesn't happen, if the Wraith Pact prevents it, then it's quite good. And also you have Naga Siren. You have
I was just thinking, isn't this like a very good 4-staff game too for Polaris? Breaking Sprout, moving around from Soulbind. Well, not breaking Soulbind if he latches into somebody, but at least kind of move around people.
Could be solid.
He is a very tanky guy. Oh, he's going to get trapped inside his own Sprout, and that's going to be Natsumi taking this one from Omi.
I mean, I'm now thinking about your 4-staff suggestion in the bottom lane while we are thinking we're gonna be getting more kills. 4-staff is certainly great here. I think it's gonna be a big deal, especially once the Nature's Prophet gets his level 20. But I still think the Wraith Pact might be something you want to build first. We've seen just how powerful it is.
They would value getting the Wraith Pact over the 4-staff. So yeah, that's that is something we are gonna see from the Caudle soon. What is his item choice gonna be? But yeah, I feel like. Either one, I guess. I mean, which one you seem to value most in your team. So, 2-1 at the 5-minute marker. Tiny pause to set our minds at ease. I have no idea why these levels are bumping in a very interesting way in our UI, but it just doesn't like the item box, apparently. Fix fleas, that's another bug detected. Anyway, is the laning stage really very even, or would you say it's rolling into the favor of either team? Like, who gets the best benefit out of an early game and towards the mid-game stage? We talked about the TA power spike, but you kind of need to get there.
You would want, if your Army Geniuses, to get a bit more kills in the lanes or just coming out of the lanes. The Polaris side, they really can't get many kills. That is just how it is. That is, their lineup isn't good at killing heroes, and you shouldn't really attempt to do so, but you should attempt not to give too many kills to the enemies and pressure them just enough so that they can't go for you. So for now, I would say the laning phase relatively even, but there's gonna be a time in the next 2-3 minutes where Army Geniuses might start pushing the issue.
Yep, they could definitely use their global capabilities, and they're actually jumping on the Bane right away with a Sprout coming in and the slows from the Trim Protector. The damage is just too much to deal with. Awomi will find this one. Natsumi forced away all the way back into the tree line. And he's just going to straight up TP to the tier 2 tower. So they are leaving this top tower for dead at the moment because Storm is also cutting the wave. They look to push this tower down very fast. They have a catapult with them too, so they might just well do it now. You talked about defending towers. Polaris will have to make, well, a decision basically now.
You're saying that they're bringing supports because you don't want a Pango to rotate before he is level 6. So they're rotating the Keeper of the Light, and they're probably gonna give the Bane here as well. The TA has come over, and with a haste, they should be able to defend.
Very nice catch, and that's going to be the Furion going down in ease. Hastrun making everything possible, so that push, I mean, they already did like half damage onto this tier 1 tower, but at least they've held it up for a little bit longer.
Yeah, for sure. Very nice move from Army Geniuses. If there wasn't for that ward, it would have been a disaster.
Are they setting up? Can they kill the Naga? I mean, they jump on the illusion, so I guess that already spoils the fun already right there. Natsumi should be fine. Tree and Protector, I don't think he's going to be feeling as fun as the Lelouch takes another one. Not only just a Furion, but also the Treant, so every single tree is being killed in this lane. Taking it to a 3-3 scoreline, and that's a free bottle refill. Straight from home. Thank you, Womi.
That was beautifully done by Polaris through and through. So everything set up. The ward on the top lane saved the Naga Siren. Then usually the carries would panic and TP to the base, but he TPs to tier 2. Instantly, here comes the Keeper of the Light, and okay, you get some luck with Lelouch getting the haste rune, but he stays on the top lane for long enough to completely counter the aggression. Yeah, you lose the HP on the tower, but that was definitely the best response you could have had to a very nice move for Army Geniuses. So I'm kind of impressed with both the teams doing exactly what they need, and now Army Geniuses, they immediately go for a smoke. So this is a very fast move, but Bane already in position.
Triangle. The right place to go, and there's some stacks, and Lelouch, he's gonna get the warning sign from the Bane, so they were expecting something to happen. They're gonna sack the Bane, but Lelouch wants to fight. Never mind, coming in from the side as well, gets the Rolling Thunder off just in time. Narman and TMV, they're both gonna get denied by the Ancients though, so it does look like the only kill they're actually gonna get out of this is most likely just gonna be the Grim, and now the Storm Spirit falling, and Xavius will pick that one up, so that is 4 heroes dead in total, of which 2 of them getting denied.
Yep. Ancients too. Yeah. Polaris, they or Army Geniuses, they got less kills in that one than the Ancients, but I'm liking the teams are moving really fast around the map. Yep, you were on the top lane, you knew that Lelouch went into the triangle, but what I really like here is the Bane. I mean, he was in the mid lane while the fights were going on in top, seeing that the team doesn't need his help, and then he was there to break the smoke. So he perfectly read everything he needed to do. So very nice moves coming out from the position 5 Polaris.
Well, at the current moment, as we're heading over to the first 10 minutes almost being played, TA and Tiny both tying up the net worth at the start, so carrying in the mid lane. Tiny's gonna have a good pace on his farm, so I think Polaris either want to start getting some map control for themselves. They've lost the top tier 1 tower, meaning they have to fight for that bottom area, keep those pushes away, maybe even force an early fight just to try and defend their towers, but that's what Army Geniuses kind of want them to do. They have the Storm, they have the Furion, they have some very heavy burst damage. They could even pull in the Tiny for a quick initiation to blow somebody quick. So basically blow somebody up, then Tiny rotates back to farm, and they just gain straight benefit from everything they want to do.
If there's a Tiny going into a fight, I can assume that it's probably going to be around the tower's bottom or in the mid lane. Right now, Polaris, you're...
It's already got a Hyperstone.
Huh? Yeah.
Straight up shard push.
If you are Polaris now, you're not looking to take down towers. You're looking with Nevermind to force rotations towards the bottom lane and then move away and fight around mid.
Very important rune taken away from the Storm Spirit illusion, grabbed by the Bane. CDS and TMV both holding onto this mid tower. Just want to huddle up for the moment. Just defend any attacker that's going to be showing up on their side of the map while Lelouch keeps on pushing. Already got the blink, looking for the Dragonlance.
So if you're Army Geniuses right now, you need that mid lane tower to fall. There's just too much greed on the side of Polaris. and you need to stop them from farming, especially in the top side of the map. So in my mind, the best bet Army Geniuses have is push the top part of the map and force some rotations from Polaris there. I think that's going to be the name of the game for both of the teams. You can see Polaris now, they're going towards the bottom lane. I don't know if they can take this tower if Army Geniuses respond.
Let's see if they do. All TPs are open. Treant is scouting for some information. They're slowly chipping down this tower, but there's a lot of armor to work through. Narman trying to keep the creeps busy at least, so they want to get that catapult destroyed. Now Pango's getting frustrated about this. He's looking for the Treant protector, and he just can't find him. Not at least yet. He's going to bump into him now. Oh, that was so close. He runs into the wall. And now with that tower actually fallen, but they are pressuring mid at the same time. So instead of actually defending bottom, they want to fight mid. So let's see if they can actually get everyone there. They need the Treant protector as well for the overgrowth, but the silence goes out onto the Pango. The Sprout's going to be there too. DB walking in with the toss. Going to get some nasty damage onto the Pangolier. And never mind, there's the Crypto. Connecting onto the Tiny, and Armor is going to be taken down, and they will lose the DB Tiny as well. And Varus, he's on a runaway as Xadius is applying pressure. Now the Storm jumping in Azura. Look for the connection onto the Caudal, and will get the kill. As TMV was hoping to get a quick nightmare to anybody he could walk into, but that's going to be 2 heroes dead from Army Geniuses, losing the bottom tier 1 tower. Could get the mid tier 1 tower taken away, but can they still find something out of this? Because TA's been found. TPs are kicking in. They've got the Grim walking in. They've got the Treant slowly showing up, and Storm, all he needs is a Vortex, but he's going to be a bit too slow as TA just blinks out. So Lelouch will survive.
Polaris
now they're
just
pushing middle.
This.
They're going middle.
Again?
Well,
Polaris
they were
crushed this. Man, they crushed the early game so hard. I like the response from Army Geniuses. They saw the Rolling Thunder in the bottom lane and they're like, they can't defend this mid lane tower. But Polaris, they knew with the Keeper of the Light that they're gonna have the double spells on the Pango and that it should be enough. So just with pretty much 3 heroes, the TA didn't really come into play that much there. It was the supports, it was the Pango just making sure that the mid lane tower survives, and that Pango with the Rolling Thunder on the bottom lane, he made sure that the bottom lane tower falls. In my mind, Army Geniuses, probably a better idea would have been to defend the bottom tower, but you know, we can talk like what would have been easier. But they had an idea of how to play the early game. It just seems that Polaris were better prepared for what they needed to do.
Setting up on the Pangolier in the top lane. X12 to jump onto the Pangolier from the Vortex. He's going to get a good stun combination into the silence. Just a very, very, could say basic train kill there. Get that secured. Don't let the Pango escape. No chance for the Rolling Thunder to come out of this one.
Azura knows what's up. He is going for an Orchid, and he only has 1 null talisman. When is the last time you saw 1 null talisman Storm Spirit? He understands how
it's been
important
too long.
Yeah, it's very important to get kills, and that's why he's not going for more. He knows that he has to have that Orchid, but there's already a Manta on the Naga Siren. Don't caught.
They've got the Fiend's Grip onto the Storm. That is huge that they can get him. Polaris is very happy to get this kill going their way. Storm being killed. Rolling Thunder is also being used. They're hunting down the Tiny on the sideline. Can they get both the pots 1 and 2 down? They can't quite find the Tiny as he's doing just very basic moves to juke around these abilities. Doesn't get hit by the Swashbuckle. Doesn't get hit by the Illuminate, but still going for another deep into as well. The Pango really wants this kill, but he won't be able to get it. He's going to lose his life instead. And Tiny lives. The boy who lived in this case, and that's going to be a 1-for-1 trade.
That was definitely Nevermind kind of getting into a fight with his fingers, for sure. And then he got annoyed that he made the mistake and he just went in. But, oh, Natsumi. They see him.
Again. Oh, okay, well, Bane's easy. Song safe, though. Great timing from Natsumi. Maybe he played into their trap. Bane is able to TP away. Beautiful save from Natsumi, and the Bane was a bit ill-suspected because they both walked onto the low ground. Didn't really have vision from the ward either because there was still smoke that they just suddenly popped right in their faces. So good song save there from the Naga.
Beautifully done. I'm just impressed with everything Polaris are doing, other than the obvious mistakes with the mechanics there of the Pango from Nevermind. But you know, mechanical mistakes are bound to happen when it comes to controlling the map. When it comes to movement, Polaris are just crushing it in this one completely. And Natsumi, he has found Varus.
Yep, Illusion's doing all the work. Don't want to walk into this Naga anymore. She's getting big. Like, you've got the Mantis already picked up. She's going to go for damage items coming up next. Maybe even buff her up a little bit more, because we do see that moon shard on the Tiny. So that illusion clear is going to be rough. You might look for a Scotty maybe potentially in this game. Have TA pump up all that damage that they need. Talking about TA and damage, there's a DD rune. She's going to go straight to the Roche pit. They have seen it though. There's a ward right in front of the Roche pit. Still suspecting though. They know, but they don't see everybody. Varus on the other side. It's a bit of an issue of breaking through the refraction, and that DD is about to run out. Roche is down to half HP. We'll also get the information for Army Geniuses about that, as these treants walk inside the Roche pit, and a wraparound coming here from Polaris. Xavius, TMV, Natsumi. They are split. It's a 3-man rotation from the side. Trying to establish vision. Never mind. Just to take this Grimstroke. Does he get the Soulbind off? No, he doesn't. He doesn't see the Caudal on the low ground, so that's going to be Varys dead.
Tiny cut?
They got the oh, they do actually, but it is the Naga taking a bit of a beating here. They're now isolating the Nature's Prophet. The Hex comes out as well. Beautiful catch, but there comes the overgrowth from Narmer. Can they get the damage though? Or who's going to be the one taking Storm jumping deep into the backline? They're taking down the Naga at least. Azura. He's got a half mana left at the moment. DB goes for the toss, and there's the Nightmare as well. They don't take damage from the Swashbuckle, but they've got damage from every other source to apply onto this Tiny. DB fighting to the last man, and it's not going to be enough. Azura with the Orchid onto the Pango, tries to keep him away. Is able to, but there's a Swashbuckle ready. Nice dodge there from the Storm Spirit, jumping onto the other direction. Look for the silence again. Cannot quite punish this Pangolier, but Storm, he did get a bottle refill from the Grimstroke, and he was thinking about going back in. They're still going to lose the tower anyway. And that fight recap, well, it is a 1 for 4, so that's a heavy trade-off for Army Geniuses.
Polaris are doing everything right. They, you could see they went into the Roche. The second they saw everyone missing off the map, they knew that they were being spotted. So as soon as they were 100% certain that the enemies, every single one of them was in the vicinity, they pull back and they smoke, whilst someone needed to defend the bottom lane from Army Geniuses, considering that the...
oh, Norman. Oh, that's going to hurt so bad as he gets hit by everything. Grimstroke is again the target of the Rolling Thunder. And even if the right-click miss comes out from Lelouch, at least they get the Illumine. And the Deep, the Tiny as well. The Tiny on the sides. There's the silence from Wobi, and they're jumping again, trying to take down this TA this time.
It's fine.
He's able to escape with 200 HP. Not enough damage dealt for the Orchid to do the final job onto the TA, and back to the pit they go. Not to even mention, that last fight they took without the Desolator. Now with the Desolator, 18 minutes in, even if you have armor-based heroes on Army Genius's side, you've got Naga to add on top of that. You've got so much tools to work with and just blow them up. They're no longer tanky heroes, Harry.
Yep, definitely not. And Naga Siren, she will be a very tanky hero, because he is gonna have the other ultimate orb very soon. He already has double raid band and Dementa, and we talked about Army Geniuses and their lineup. The way they want to start the fight is jump in, destroy someone, and then maybe chase on forward while you are always split pushing with the Nature's Prophet. But man, they're doing such a great job on Polaris pushing out these lanes.
Can they cancel the TP? No. 80 HP is all that's remaining onto that, but DB able to find a poke onto Xavius with the help of Azura and Varys, so that will mean Caudal taken down, mid tower held up a little bit longer. They've had the Treant to pump it up the whole time, so Polaris would need to commit to that. They wanted to kill the Furion, so that could have opened up a bit of a push opportunity for them, because they are otherwise going to have side lanes pushing in if they don't.
Right now, I would like Polaris to be the ones on the aggressive with 5 of their heroes, just to see where Army Geniuses are. But of course, they don't know that the Tiny just bought the Blink. So Army Geniuses have this small window now with the Tiny Blink where they can surprise the enemies. But Polaris, it looks to me that they're getting together, putting the TA in front. So even this Blink timing isn't going to be that great. Bottom, though.
Yeah, a bit of a 1v1 trade here. Rouge wears off, teleport's available. Natsumi, does he have the damage to burst through the NP? Yeah, that's the song. And he's putting all of those illusions around this NP. So now it's all about the Sprout. How good is it going to be? No vision, no nothing. Womi's out of there. Middle blow, they're fighting. Bigger fight happening here, never mind. Able to get the Rolling Thunder off, but that's only a Bane lost and an ulti forced. 2 ultis forced if we're adding in the song as well from bot lane.
Solid from Army Geniuses. They just need to continue. Go for a smoke again. You have this blink on the Tiny. You need to push out the lanes a little bit. And again, go for plays right now. This is their timing. If they don't get this now, there's going to be a BKB on the TA. There's going to be... Okay, Scotty already done on the Naga. The timing for Polaris is going to hit that 20 to 25 minute timing when the TA completely overtakes the game. But the problem is he has a Naga as well. So there's the smoke. And let's see if they can find something.
Well, let's see if they do. They are going into the triangle, and hello! No song for you, no escape tool given for this Naga, not even given a chance to even pop off the Manta. Natsumi down. Army Geniuses, 2 successes in a row. Quick kill on the Bane, quick kill onto the Naga this time. Things like these are slowly going to push you back into this game and maybe have a bit of dominance of your own, so to say. I mean, who doesn't love power, Harry?
Everyone does. Everyone does. I guess humble people don't.
They just don't want to admit it. Alush.
Okay.
Able to snipe down Varys. Still the holder of the Aegis for another 1 minute, 50 seconds. Army Geniuses are going to have to back out and let this tower fall. The tier 1 they've been holding so valiantly for such a long time. They're going to have to concede defeat on that.
I like the moves from both teams right now. Army Geniuses could have been forced into this scenario where they're like, okay, we have to go for more now. We got the Naga kill. But you would know that Polaris are going to stay back. But Polaris, on the other hand, they don't stay back. They smoke out because they know the chase might be coming. So they just get together and go for that tower to use the Aegis. So Army Geniuses now, since the side lanes are pushed out, they should be going for smokes again, but they're rallying in their triangle. So this is going to give time for Polaris to prepare, which is something I don't think Army Geniuses have the capabilities to allow right now. If Polaris gets together, pushes one lane, and the other lanes aren't pushed out for Army Geniuses, they're gonna have to fight in a position that's gonna be very disadvantageous for them.
Well, we talked about the Wraith Pack. That is his choice of item for the Coddle. So the Bane decided to go for the Aether Lens and then into the Force Staff, so he's the one to build it in the end. That's going to take a bit of time, though, but it will be invaluable. We already have a very long-range Fiend script. Azir and Varys, they both spot Lelouch is in the area, but TA is probably the worst target to jump on because she wants that Aegis to be used. Army Geniuses don't want to give that opportunity. So let's see if Lelouch wants to play aggressive and force something. He's got 15 seconds. Basically, fight has to start now. You can just stand there and bait. Patience. Patience is key. There we go. The jump happens. Can they time this correctly? 5 seconds to go. Silence is there. Trying to hold their damage. 3 seconds. 2 seconds left on it. The Orc is going to pop. And there's the regen coming out with the BKB. He's going to be there. And Lelouch is able to jump out. But they're going to be able to jump onto the Bane at least and take down TMV. Maybe even something more as the Pango is a bit on a desperation mode here. He is huddled up in the roll-up. And here comes the Tiny ready to deliver the slap. Azura will score a double kill out of that. So Polaris not able to take the tower, not able to kill anybody. Instead lose 2, plus the Aegis runs out. Oh, they're looking for a setup though. The call in from Xadius. Oh, beautiful blink dodge there. Did not get hit by the ensnare. They're going to have to sack the Grimstroke though. Can he still run out because they are on the hunt? So Lelouch wants to slow him down. 3 seconds left on the blink though. Doesn't look like the TA wants to dive that deep.
Man, these global TPs are so big. You could see that Xavius actually gave 1,400 gold for the Ag Shard. Sometimes you'd see the keepers be like, nah, I just want a Wraith Pack. But here he understands there's going to be a lot of back and forth left and right plays on the map because you have the Nature's Prophet Storm on the other side, so you kind of want to match that. So that is what allowed them to actually turn that whole engagement around. I really like the move from Polaris. They know that their Aegis is expiring, and they go for the top lane. We're going to force all of our heroes there, and then we can do whatever we want around the map. But the execution from Army Geniuses was so good. Jumping on the TA, pulling her back as soon as the refractions were ending, so Lelouch didn't have those, but then the Aegis the Aegis expired and he had another set of refractions, so he got back up to full. But still a really nice jump from Army Geniuses. They got them 2 kills, but Polaris still, they're tactically wise, they're doing everything right. You know, if they would do everything right execution wise, it would be too much. So they're giving some space for Army Geniuses to respond, and I have to say Army Geniuses are doing a good job. Their jumps, their understanding, their plays are solid. Polaris just on another level right now.
Well, we got a jump on the side here, and it's going to be onto Zadius still. Rolling Thunder being used as well. Fiend Script connecting onto there as well, but it's not doing enough work here as DB jumps in. The toss is going to be throwing them around, and TA is going to be in trouble with the Soul, but it's going to be connecting as well. The Penguins are going to be moving anywhere. They're going to be losing 3 as Nevermind gets onto the high ground. Azura, all of his mana being burnt, and Natsumi, he's thinking, when do I throw in the song? Because the song is going to be so good. That song is just not going to be strong enough to motivate them to bring their heroes back from the graveyard, because Polaris are down with 3 heroes on Army Geniuses. Well, you said it, Harry. It looks good if they keep on doing it, and they are doing it. One step after another step. They've had 5 successful fights so far, and it keeps on looking better. Even that net worth lead is slowly coming to a close. It's still 5k though.
This is the thing though, Polaris made a slight mistake there, especially Natsumi. He wasn't there. As soon as you would see a BKB on the Tiny, use the song and then use the Fiend's Grip, and you're just gonna kill the Tiny. But well, you don't even have to use the Fiend's Grip. You have the Axe with the Ensnare right now, so it's a possibility as well. So a bit of a mistake from the side of Polaris. If they were together there, I think it would be a disastrous fight for Army Geniuses, and this BKB reveal would actually be his demise. But still, they win that fight. They're back. Let's now see if Polaris are gonna allow it once again and allow Army Geniuses to be completely back in the game.
Wolmy wants his BKB and TP's out, but the song's gonna be there. That means that the Tiny's gonna be all alone. What is happening here? Why is the Tiny all by himself now? Oh, they miscommunicated that. They wanted to go in and out at the same time. A bit of poke. I'm gonna escape, and then realizing that, oh, the Tiny doesn't want to do the same thing, and he's got his BKB, but he's not getting it to TP away. So that was a bit unfortunate, but yet they found another Treant Protector caught by Natsumi. Treant trying to fight for the run of his life. He's gonna get ensnared again, Natsumi, with that Aghanims. Slow, very small cooldown. Now Xavius gets killed off by Azura. That's a support killed on both sides of the map, and Roshan has returned to his den.
He'll be up, considering there are no towers close by for the Radiant. The Dire side definitely has an advantage here. They have a damage advantage as well. They just walk in. Without the Tiny, there's no fight, and buying him back right now gives... puts you in a really bad spot. He's the one that needs to do the AoE damage in this game, so you can't really buy him back right now. He's already too far behind the course of Polaris, so this should be a free one.
Pretty much should be, yeah. They're moving on the outskirts. That's just a Grimstroke. Won't be able to time it for the steal either. Never hurts to try though, but they are going to chase him down. They saw exactly where he is. Azura wants to take a trade off onto the Bane at the same time, and that's going to work out, but the Ensnare is going to be connecting. He does have the Illusion Rune to be able to get that Ensnare off in time. Sorry, the Illusion to get the jump off in time out of the Ensnare. That's what I wanted to say. As Polaris securing Roshan, only losing their Bane. They can still keep on going. Xadius and Natsumi setting up for Romi in the bot lane. They found the tree and the Nature's right next to them. Furion trying to hide in the trees. 1 second for his Sprout to be up. He could BKB teleport. Is it too late though? It's too late now. Ensnare anyway would have held him in place. No way he would have actually gotten away.
He tried to wait for the Ensnare, then he tried to bait for the Ensnare. He needed to go for a TP immediately, bait the Ensnare that way, and then go for the BKB TP. So slight mistake there, but very nice nerves from Natsumi. Understanding I don't want to use my Ensnare until I see the TP or until I see the BKB, and in the end it worked out.
Sometimes it is that simple. When you're the one holding all the keys, then you don't really need to wait for any baits. Just do everything as told. I do like this Shadow Blade pickup on this Naga Siren though. Could be very good surprise element. See if it pays off for something big here. Hunting Azura, that would be perfect. Never mind on the hunt though, it doesn't get the stun connection, so Storm's already zipped out.
So I like the Shadow Blade as well. usually you would see in this kind of a scenario where you're this far ahead that the Naga Siren gets a butterfly, gets a card, and just goes up the hill. The thing is, you're playing against so much split push, so you don't want that. You want to prevent the split push, and that's how you're gonna win the game. So Polaris are itemizing for that scenario right now.
30 minutes into game number 1. Polaris in still a bit of a lead, at least in terms of money, but that doesn't always tell everything. For me, this time, instant BKB TP home. Not taking any second chances.
You know, rich people are always gonna tell you that money isn't important, but yep, maybe it's not important for Polaris, but Army Geniuses, man, they'd like to have a bit more funding right now because they're definitely not gonna be dealing too easily with Lelouch or with the Naga Siren. Now with the bottom tower dropping, it's gonna be tougher for Army Geniuses to split the map. So with Polaris smoking, now when that tower is down, it's gonna be much easier for them to catch Army Geniuses off guard because you're putting yourself in a bad spot to push out the waves.
Yeah. Also, okay, I'm actually not gonna get the chance for it because their smokes are popping and they know somebody's in the trees. It's most like they're protected. Goes for the overgrowth for the blink. Natsumi has already been taken down, but can they take down Azura? He's very low on HP. He's able to get down. Yes, they will get that long kill streak away from him, but the Soulbind keeping the Pango on the spot for a moment, but at least letting him let loose. That is going to be a carry for the mid player. Traded by both sides. Lelouch is still hitting like a truck. So what I want to quickly add into this as this fight still keeps on going is the actual money difference. Like, you've got a lot of money just sitting in the pockets of the Naga Siren. It's not technically a 13k lead. Very important piece that we've actually been talking about with several people, that if you have so-called current gold, which isn't actually active gold because money doesn't give you DPS, it's the items that you buy with it. So it's not, you know, just a good lesson to learn.
Usually the net worth is also an indicator that you have more experience as well, so that is you are definitely a lot stronger than the enemies though. You see now Naga with her going for these catch items, she can't survive, but now you also see the difference. If Army Geniuses, they get the start to the fight, perfect start to the fight, and they still can't win. That is the net worth difference there coming into play. So I think they're probably feeling a bit demoralized right now. They're like, yeah, we got the Naga, but we still lost the fight. So that means that you're so much weaker. You need to find a better spot to fight where you can actually get out in time.
BB going for the jump onto the Bane. It's going to be quickly taking out TMV, and Lelouch just doesn't have the damage to burst down this Tiny. Gonna get a bit of a revenge kill as Polaris were moving away. Weren't able to get that tier 3 tower. That's still a bit of an issue. High ground push. Army Geniuses. 5-man smoke straight towards the mid lane. They see the TA. They see the Cuddle. And the scan will also find somebody in the triangle. But unfortunate for them, it's just illusions. But they know that they're moving around that area.
Too convenient of a timing.
For the Melt Trap.
You're probably not going to fight anyone.
The Melt Trap, they're going to pop a DP. He's in panic already. They know they're coming. They're going to need to get their Naga into this as well, as Army Genius is instantly backing away. They're on the retreat. Beautiful basic Melt Trap in the lane.
Yeah, the thing is that this smoke is always going to be too obvious. One hero is dead and the Aegis is running out. So Polaris, they knew about it. The thing is they had this DD, so they're like, okay, who cares? We are weaker maybe at this point, but with the DD, we're going to surprise them and just crush them. So Polaris did wait there, but you could see that Army Geniuses didn't take the bait. As soon as their smoke broke, they knew, okay, these guys know about this, they're ready. Let's not give them the fight that they're 100% ready for.
I was just a bit worried that because Natsumi was in the bottom lane pushing a wave at the same time, like they still had a distance that they need to close in, even if it looks like they're semi-close on the map. So if they did actually take the jump, it would have been down to Natsumi getting there as soon as possible to save the day. They could still use the Cuddle teleport to get in there, which is definitely a tool that they can abuse. They still have the tier 2 tower to teleport to. That's still about 3 seconds of a fight gone. And they 5-man smoked for nothing. Didn't actually find anybody. Army Geniuses are suspecting something is up.
The thing is, in those scenarios, Army Geniuses, they're looking at the bottom lane and thinking, is this the real Naga or is it just the illusions? It's hard to tell, and in high stress situations, you don't want to be putting yourself in a situation where, okay, maybe it's him, maybe it's not, because in the early mid game you can do it. One mistake is not going to cost you the game, but in this part of the game, if you would lose your 5 heroes, you're in trouble. But now when they see the Naga TP'd on the bottom lane, they're going in, but the recall, that is still something you have to think about. They're just hoping that the enemies aren't going to do it right now, because you know at this point you kind of have to hope for something to go away, for the enemies to give you an opportunity, because you are losing.
Very long wrap around all the way to the back, and these Treants, they're moving, they're scouting, they're looking for anything, but the Bane's gonna be there. Smoke's already popped, they know somebody's here. Where the heck are they? They cannot find the Bane. Is still over there, just baiting everything and giving every feed of information that they need, and he's gonna nightmare the Tiny. They're gonna get the jump on the back as well, and there's the Pango rolling on the spot with him being so bound as they take out Varus, but they get the jump at least on Xavius, and there's the Fiend's Grip as well, keeping the Tiny away, but they're focusing everybody else down. They're going to take down the Treant, and now focusing their sights onto the Tiny. Polaris will find 3. And it's just the Furion and the Storm Spirit making their way out, but Polaris, they can go straight up, full head push, full steam ahead into the base of the Army Geniuses.
Also, when Army Geniuses saw that Naga Siren was there, they were actually gonna give up on it, especially with their smoke breaking like that and them being under perfect vision of their enemies. I mean, that was really weird, but it goes to show that the pressure is getting to them. You're at some point gonna be like, we can't keep split pushing, we have to do something. It's only gonna get worse. They're getting more part of the map than us, and at some point we won't be able to fight. So Army Geniuses, they decided to fight at that point, and Polaris finally got the fight that they were looking for, probably the one that's gonna seal the deal for this game.
Exactly what they needed on this, and now heading towards the bottom lane. Racks are slowly falling. It's gonna be mega creeps in just a second. Those final hits landing. Polaris look to close game 1. Jumping onto Azure on the side as the BKB is popped onto the TA. He's sprouted as well. That leash is very nasty that he's sitting in right now, and even with a song from Natsumi, they can set up with a Treant Protector. He's trying to get the overgrowth out, but no can do. Tier 4 towers now open. Polaris are resetting themselves, but Bane is getting jumped on by Zero. Again, another trap silence. Beautiful there from Lelouch. Has to force the storm away, and there's the Treant coming with the buyback, and Tiny respawning. That's an indicator that they have to reset one more time. And looking at the buyback status as well, there's only the Storm Spirit. Nobody else has.
With the mega creeps, you've clipped the wings of Army Geniuses in their attempts to split push, to fly on the side lanes. So now the only thing that is left for them is to fight, where Polaris definitely have an advantage, not only in terms of gold, but their lineup is just more equipped to do so. You don't want a team fight with the Nature's Prophet and the Storm Spirit. These heroes are kind of happier just getting the pickoffs and then just chasing for more. So now that's not going to be a possibility, and the next fight will most likely be the last that we see in game number 1 of Army Geniuses and Polaris.
What can they do? How does Army Geniuses win another fight? It does feel like they're just not getting the fights in their favor, like killing the Bane, killing the Caudal. You've got so many things to worry about in the fights with the Naga, just kind of isolating somebody. Is going to be able to kill anybody she wants. The TA can blow somebody up really quickly.
So you need to start off the fight with a kill. Ideally on the Naga Siren, that's your main target, most likely, because he can reset everything else. The way that you do this, you jumped with everything on her except from the Storm, and then when the rest of the heroes get together, the Storm, once he gets an axe, he doesn't have it yet, but if he gets an axe, he goes in. Okay, he's not gonna get one.
That's a dead Storm Spirit. Oh my goodness. Absolute brutality on this TA, hitting for about 700 damage at this point. They're gonna look to close out the game. Army Geniuses, maybe one more fight with a buyback off the Storm Spirit could do. But that's pretty much it. The last huzzah. And call the 2 letters out into the chat. Natsumi, Lelouch. Here we go, another jump in with a GD, getting a couple punches in. Not quite enough, though. And there we go. The toss from DB. The buyback coming in from the Storm Spirit. They got the overgrowth onto the backline, jumping as well onto this Bane. But the Song is just putting everything on hold for now. And targeting a Zero. There's the Lincoln, so targeting at least ending one. But the creeps are also hitting the Ancient. But DB wants to get some kills, wants to get some damage done. But no,
buyback.
not going to happen. He's got the buyback coming into the fight once again. But Lelouch is already feeling it that I'm just going to run over everybody that I want to. They might get the breakout, but the GG call is there. Army Geniuses, valiant battle. Very good start to the game, but Polaris was in command of this one.
You can definitely see that DP wanted the game to end there, but his supports were probably telling him, yo, we can still win this, believe me. And then at that point, he just tossed the TA towards his supports, like, yeah, let's see what you can do against her. And suddenly they found out that there's nothing they can do because the TA just two-shotted every single one of them. Army Geniuses, they did have some good moves in this one, but I think it all started, the snowball started on the bottom lane. You needed to stop it very early on. It started on the bottom lane. You allowed the tower to fall, and you went into the mid lane. After that fight was lost, Army Geniuses kind of did everything right, but there weren't many moves for them to make. They were smoking when they should, they were split pushing when they should, but they gave too much at that particular moment for Polaris, and I think there was no turning back from that point onward unless Polaris make a huge mistake.
That was a pretty wild game, though, in terms of Polaris understanding how well they can get through that mid TA, not really fearful of the last pick Tiny. Like you said, you weren't too confident about, like, you're not feeling this last pick Tiny, not feeling like the greatest pick. And I'm gonna try something if this actually works. Give me 2 seconds to get this thing to work, because we did. Is that already 2? All right, I guess we have to go. So let's try if this works. And ta-da, we're actually on camera. So it is working for some extent. Just need to work around with my buttons because apparently not everything is as it should be. But though, hope you guys enjoyed the first game. We're still running on some tech bits here and there, but hopefully we can bring you a quality broadcast all the way to where you're watching right now. It's T-Panda and Harry for the cast. We'll take a tiny break, and we shall head over then to the second game of this best of 3. The quarterfinals of the playoffs will continue in just a bit.